Whether you're new to knives and thinking about building out a collection, or you're a long-term collector just picking favorites, choosing your top 3 knives is always a fun activity, and that's what I'm going to do in this video with knives from my personal collection. I'll also give some philosophy and perspective. So right off the bat, I want to clarify that this is a concept video. These are 3 types of knives that I think work great for your EDC, and yet, interestingly, they are different enough that I think that just with the 3 of them, you could have a lot of satisfaction. What are we looking at? Well, we're looking at the ubiquitous Spyderco Delica 4, the new Great Eastern Cutlery traditional knife, the Oregon Trapper, and the Chris Reeve Small Sebenza 21. So the Sebenza 21 represents the upscale but modern folder. It's a respectable design, one that's still very practical when you need it in those formal situations. Now, the Oregon Trapper is the whimsical and nostalgic traditional. Still great materials, still very enjoyable to use, but has tons of character and will get more character over time. And the Delica 4 is just the all-arounder. Lightweight, easy to use, proven design. It's a very versatile knife and one you'll probably carry the most. So the concept is that you could have a pretty versatile 3-knife collection with these 3 types of knives. They all would work in different situations, and yet they still all complement each other, and they work great for everyday carry. You have a nice variety of style that isn't too trendy and isn't going to get dated anytime soon, and yet they're still all excellent performers too when you do need to use them to cut things. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Triple fivers who have been here for a while know that I've featured the Delica and the Sebenza in previous videos, so I want to spend some time on this Oregon Trapper. Now, traditional knives just don't get the love that they deserve. I mean, look at this gorgeous satin blade. Look at this perfect clip blade shape with this big belly. Now, the Trapper is really detail intensive in a very satisfying way. And I'm talking about the canvas, micarta scales, the nickel shield, which matches the nickel bolster, both satin. They both do get a little bit of marks on them easily, so that's one thing that you just have to expect. It has beautiful brass liners along with a perfectly lined up spring, brass pins that look great. It's perfectly centered. All around, the build quality on this knife is impeccable. I really enjoy how nice all of these details work together, and it feels amazing in the hand. It's the type of knife that I think you'll only grow to appreciate more over time, and it's certainly built to last a long time as well. That's something I love about Great Eastern Cutlery knives. Now, one of the great appeals of a traditional knife is what's called the walk and talk. That is the experience of working with its slip joint. It just sounds great. It's very dynamic. There's also this great tactile feeling. It's very secure. You can see why they used it for years before they came up with more modern locks. Now, this also uses a traditional blade material, 1095 steel, which is a carbon steel that, as you can see, is beautifully finished here in satin. It seems to have just linear brushing. Yeah, this blade stock is thin. It has a great belly. It's an excellent cutter, and it's a very versatile size. This type of steel is also easy to sharpen, and you just have to make sure it's oiled so that it doesn't get rusty. Now, I've really gotten into the Sebenza 21 in previous videos, so please do check those out if you want to learn all the details. But my long-term ownership report of the Sebenza 21 is that it has been stellar. Break-in is great. I love the frame lock. I think that the blade profile on the classic small 21 is so useful and so nice. It's just a true pleasure to carry, and I'm not letting it go anytime soon. And of course, the Delica is just a great all-arounder, especially with the Casey Lynch clip, which I really like. It is a super lightweight and super secure knife to carry, and again has a great blade profile. The Sebenza's double hump pocket clip design works in all kinds of pants, including dress pants. The deep carry clip on the Delica 4 is very reliable and great for shorts during the summer. And the Trapper is thin enough to fit into your pocket straight away, especially with a lanyard. You just got to make sure that you're keeping track of it. Okay, so I'll be the first to admit that this concept video is sort of just an excuse for me to show off the Oregon Trapper to hopefully a larger audience. It's a beautiful knife. I do think that if you're new to knives, that having a collection of 3 knives is a very nice balanced place to be, and I encourage you to try to find your 3 knives. Let me know what they are down below if you already are at that point. And if you're new to the channel here, I'd love to have you subscribe. If you want to support me on Patreon, the link is below. I appreciate your thumbs up, and as always, thanks a lot for watching.